Hey guys, welcome to the Homestead. So it appears to me at WEF and Davos, they are continuing to push this whole idea of taking away your food, or at least the kind of food that you may choose to eat. Before we get into that, I'll let you guys know we're doing another giveaway of a solar generator over at our Patreon page, patreon.com/AnAmericanHomestead. We'll be giving that unit away here soon, but it's only to $3 member levels and above. And then also, Oopies right now, we have done a lot of reviews of their products. They have amazing products, and they have links right now on our website at AnAmericanHomestead.com where you can save over $1,000 in savings, plus additional discounts if you use certain discount codes, all linked below. They're running a winter sale. If you're looking to get into solar generators, this is one of the few things that I push on my channel because I hate some of these other products that companies try to approach me over. Solar generators are absolutely fantastic, and they can absolutely be handy in the times of question that we obviously have in the days ahead. So anyway, you can check it out, AmericanHomestead.com. Find that Oopies ad right there on the page. Click on that and check out their winter sale where you can save over $1,000 in savings. So anyway, all right, here's the deal. I got this video that was being played over at the WEF, the World Economic Forum at Davos. And this kind of coincides with videos that I've done before because I try to push on this channel, you must become a producer. The world is a consumer world, especially in the Western world. We are a Western consumer drunk society. Be a producer. They're going to try to take certain things away from you, and you can make that harder to do when you produce things on your own. Here's the clip.
I mean, ecocide as a word is becoming better known around the world, and the concept is generally mass damage and destruction of nature. But legally speaking, what our organisation and other collaborators aim to do is to have this recognised legally as a serious crime. Because one of the issues that sort of pervades all of this discussion is that we have a kind of cultural, very ingrained habit of not taking damage to nature as seriously as we take damage to people and property. And that, I mean, you know, if you're campaigning for human rights, at least you know mass murder, torture, all of these things are serious crimes. But there's no equivalent in the environmental space. And so, you know, unlike an international crime like genocide that involves a specific intent, with ecocide, what we see is actually what people are trying to do, what businesses are trying to do is make money, is farm, is fish, is do all of these things that are, producing energy and so on as well. But what's missing is the awareness and the conscience around the side effects, around the collateral damage that happens with that.
So you farming, you fishing, you producing your own food is now considered ecocide. You're killing the environment. Ecocide. Now, not genocide, but ecocide. And it's about, on the surface, this looks harmless. This looks like they're going after commercial farming with some of the harmful commercial farming practices that we all know are out there. You're mass fertilizing using all these chemical fertilizers, glyphosate, and all this other nonsense the Monsanto and Bayer industries are producing. And so I get that part, but that's on the surface. What they're really trying to do here is saying, hey, listen, you grow your own food. Unless you grow your food the way we say you should grow your food, you're committing ecocide, and we want to make that a crime that we can punish you for. They are setting themselves up as the world leaders, as the world dictators. You know, as I've watched a lot of these clips, and I have one more clip I want to show you. As I've watched a lot of these clips over the last few days, it appears to me that the mask is off the World Economic Forum. People really are starting to see them for what they are, because they're not trying to hide the amount of control that they want to have over you any longer. They're not trying to put that under the surface. They're outright saying it. They're saying that if you farm, that if you grow food and you don't do it the way we say it, we're going to say it's a crime, and we're going to be able to punish you. So, months back, I think it was over a year ago, I put out a video that talked about the USDA wanting you to register your gardens. Now, when you dive down deep into that USDA website that was pushed, and really haven't heard anything about it since because no one participated in it, It's like the gun grabbers in Illinois. They got less than 1% of people who actually registered their guns. People are not going to register their gardens. But the USDA really wanted you to register your gardens. And if you dig down deep into it, they wanted you to register gardens that were like community gardens. So, a garden for the neighborhood, a garden for, a certain group of people. Can you register that and we'll put it on our map? And people were like, heck no. But they were following a United Nations initiative, and the United Nations is closely linked with the World Economic Forum. The United Nations was pushing for all gardens to be registered and tracked. If you make food, if you grow food, if you raise food, we want to know about it. We want to know what you raise, how much, and we get those stupid things in the mail asking, and I say those all go in the trash. Trash. Because you don't need to know what I'm growing. It's none of your business to know what I'm raising. But the United Nations wanted all gardens, any producer, any grower, any raiser of animals to be registered. And the USDA was like, that might be a little bit too far. Let's try to go in baby steps. And let's try to do community gardens for now. All right, I told you we had another clip. Here it is.
In most of Asia, rice is still grown with traditional methods, which requires flooding the fields. And when you flood the fields, you basically kill the weeds with water, which sounds good, except it takes huge amounts of water. They basically decompose underwater, and when they do that, they release methane. And so actually rice production is one of the largest producers of methane, which is, many times more toxic in terms of greenhouse gas emissions.
Rice is destroying the planet. So when you grow rice, don't you know you flood these fields, and whatever weeds are down there, whatever things are down there, biodiversity is down there, when that dies and breaks down, it releases CO2, methane into the environment, and that's destroying the planet. And so what we need to do is grow rice in a different way. Well, how should we grow rice? We haven't decided yet, but when we figure it out, we'll let you know. But until then, no more rice. We need to curtail the amount of rice that the earth produces. Well, what do we eat in the meantime? Because a third of the planet produces rice and eats rice. Well, we have the bugs, and you will eat the bugs until we come up with a better way to grow your rice. This is insanity. See, here's the deal. We're at a point now, again, where I think the mask has fallen off, and we see the WEF, the World Economic Forum, for what it is, and we've come to a point where it's like, no, I'm not playing anymore. And if you think you're going to play with me, you're going to have another thing coming. The Dutch farmers and the German farmers are throwing tractor poop everywhere. And I've made multiple posts on Twitter that that's not going to get you anywhere. If you're trying to stop the government with tractors, you're using the wrong tool. You're using the wrong Homestead implement. You need a Homestead implement that shoots 7.62 by 3.9 or 5.56. Those are more adequate tools to get the job done. To put, once again, fear into the hearts of our elected or unelected bureaucrats who are ruining and running our lives. So, what do? It's like, okay, you can see where this is going. Whether or not it succeeds or not is remaining in question. A lot of people are getting angry about it when they hear this stuff. So what do? I think number one thing, like I always say on this channel, is be a producer, okay? Homestead, get out of the cities, for crying out loud, because what the squeeze is going to really be composed of is the cities where the highest density of populations exist. And so get out of the cities. Get into a place that's more rural, where people have still a somewhat intact moral compass. They have an idea of what's right and wrong based on maybe some biblical moral values. And, those are places where I would get to, if you can, if you have the means to. If you have to slug it out in the cities, God love you. But wherever you are, create a network of people who you can trust, who are not idiots, and then work with those. Right now, I'm working with some people in the neighborhood to establish, and other places too, in Northwest Arkansas where I live, to put together some ham radio and some VHF, UHF, and 10 millimeter, 11 millimeter bands and frequencies that we can use to communicate and stay in communication. I've got almost everything I need to put up 2 towers here on my homestead. And I figured out all the grounding stuff. The grounding really kind of scared me because we get lightning strikes because we're up on top of a mountain. But I figured that out, and I had some help with some guys to help me figure that out. And I want to be able to establish a network, and that's what we're doing. Wherever you are, get people around you who you can trust, who are not idiots, who you think you know you can rely on, and then develop some protocols for things that can take place. And then continue to tell these bureaucrats and worldly globalists to go pound sand.
Come on, man.
And do so loudly. Continue to do it online. Continue to do it in their face. When people come up to you and say, hey, we need to take care of the guns. Because getting rid of the guns is going to be the first way that they're going to try to control you. And that's really hard here in America because, our revolution, people forget about Concord Bridge. They were there to take away the guns. So it's ingrained in our very foundation as a nation. No, we're not giving up our guns. And I think the World Economic Forum and other unelected worldly globalist bureaucrats are going to eventually have a hard time. They're having a hard time with that one objective. What do you think? Leave a comment below. I'm interested in your thoughts. But this is where they're headed. And I think, again, the mask off of the monster at this point? Have people figured out the World Economic Forum? They've already come out and said we need to do some new propaganda to remake our image because our image is so tarnished. It seems to me that the cat's out of the bag on this, but what do you think? Leave a comment below. I'm really interested to hear what you think. And then what are you doing as a community to help safeguard the future, as shaky as it might be? For our patrons out there, listen, I've been giving away these PDFs for the last, 6 months now. These things are going to cost you about $800 on Amazon for one and about $900 on Amazon for the other. The reason they're so expensive is because of the information contained within. They are out of print, out of copyright. This guy, he lived back in the 1800s. He compiled this information long before the pharmaceuticals got in and took a lot of it away out of the information that was out there and circulating out there. And so check out these PDFs. You can join my patrons and be at the patron level of just $1. Send me a message on Patreon, and I will get these PDFs to you. Or you can just go to my website at AmericanHomestead.com, and you can go to our patron link up there, and you can find the direct link to these after you become a patron in that page. Okay. What a crazy, crazy world we're living in. Let me know what you think. I'm interested to hear thoughts. See you next time in the homestead. Bye. This is Grandma. Grandma survived the Great Depression. She survived the Great Depression because her supply chain was local and she knew how to do stuff. Grandma was smart. Grandma told us to make do with what you got. She also said, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Homesteading is all about self-reliance and declaring ourselves to be independent from the system. We grow our own food, we raise our own animals, and doing these things helps safeguard our families from the unpredictable world that surrounds us. But what about banking? I love being my own power company, but what about being my own bank? Right now, our country is over $30 trillion in debt and rising. The Fed keeps printing money, and the Congress won't stop spending money. Staying attached to the modern banking system and their investment vehicles is like putting all of your eggs in one very, very fragile basket. On one side, you have the threat of inflation and your savings value floating away. And the other side is a possible deflationary stock market collapse, just like what happened in the 1930s. Genesis Gold Group is like a basket holding eggs, and these eggs are impossible to break. History shows us that all paper investments have and will return to their intrinsic value eventually. Zero. But gold, silver, and other precious metals have never, ever been worthless. In every collapse throughout history, people have turned back to precious metals to find monetary value. If you have a 401k, an IRA, or a savings account where you're literally watching the purchasing power inflate away, give Genesis Gold Group a call right now, today, this instant. They can develop a strategy for you in the days ahead. I can tell you how I raise sheep, I can tell you how I raise chickens, or the best way to grow tomatoes, or how to hook up a solar panel. But Genesis Gold Group is your best shot at safeguarding your hard-earned savings and investments during this increasingly turbulent time in history. The link and phone number is in the description below, or visit their website at genesisgoldgroup.com. And be sure to say you heard about them from An American Homestead. Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of an American Homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the homestead that we make here on the homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. Oh wait.